Breaking news! We have some big news coming out of Detroit today. Big roster moves, a heartbreaking injury, and a quarterback who is playing the best football of his career. So let's break it all down. Be sure to hit that like button to stay up to date with all the latest Detroit Lions news. You won't want to miss the big updates we have for you today. First, the Detroit Lions are dealing a major blow with the loss of linebacker Alex Anzalone for the rest of the regular season. Anzalone suffered a broken forearm in Sunday's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's a huge setback for the Lions defense. He's been a leader on that side of the ball, so his absence will definitely be felt. But here's where things get interesting. Lions fans, despite losing one of their top linebackers, Detroit may be adding another, and one with serious ties to the Lions coaching staff. Here's what we know. The Lions have been incredibly active when it comes to their linebacker core this season. Since August, they've signed a whole roster of linebackers: Abraham Beauplan, Ty Summers, Cam Gill, Darren Gilbert, Steele Chambers, Malik Jefferson, Joel Aigbunawi, and Ezekiel Turner, 8 linebackers in total. That shows how deep they want to be at the position. While there are guys who could replace Anzalone, it's clear the Lions are always looking for more talent. And here's where it gets interesting. There's a linebacker who just hit the market who fits exactly what the Lions are looking for. His name is David Long, and he was released by the Miami Dolphins last week in what was a shocking move. Long was not only a starter for the Dolphins the past 2 seasons, but he was also a team captain. Miami's decision to let him go raised eyebrows around the league, and now Detroit could be the team to capitalize on that. Why does Long make sense for the Lions? Well, for starters, he's an elite run defender, and as we know, stopping the run has been a top priority for Detroit's defense under Dan Campbell. Over the past 2 seasons, Long has posted incredible run defense grades of 89 and 93.4, according to Pro Football Focus. That kind of play would be an immediate asset for the Lions, especially in a season where the defense needs to step up. But there's more. Long's leadership qualities also make him a perfect fit for Detroit. He was a captain in Miami, and as we've seen under Campbell, the Lions place a high value on bringing in players who fit their culture. They want leaders in the locker room, and by all accounts, Long is exactly that. And here's an added bonus. Long has a connection to the Lions coaching staff. He spent 4 years in Tennessee with Lions defensive line coach Terrell Williams. You bet Williams would back him up. So, what happens next? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but expect the Lions to be actively considering Long. He's a player who could step in and contribute right away. And with the injury to Anzalone and uncertainty surrounding Derek Barnes' return, adding a player like Long could be the key to keeping the defense strong through the rest of the season. But that's not all we have to talk about today, Lions fans. We've also got to touch on the play of our quarterback, Jared Goff. Goff has been absolutely on fire this season, and his performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars was nothing short of spectacular. In fact, some are calling it the best game of his career under coach Dan Campbell. Goff threw for 412 yards and 4 touchdowns in a dominant 52-6 win over the Jags. What makes this even more impressive is that just a week earlier, he had a rough game against the Houston Texans, throwing 5 interceptions. But as Coach Campbell pointed out, Goff didn't let that bad game affect him. He bounced back in a huge way, posting a perfect passer rating of 158.3, his best performance yet. No turnovers, no sacks, just pure precision. One of the most notable things about Goff's game right now is his movement in the pocket. We've all seen quarterbacks who can scramble or avoid pressure, but Goff's ability to move within the pocket has reached a whole new level this season. He's making subtle shifts, sliding to the side, or even spinning away from pressure like we saw in the Jaguars game. These aren't just minor moves. These are critical moments where Goff is extending plays and buying himself more time to find the open receiver. And the stats back it up. Goff's QB rating this season is the highest of his career, and he's playing with the kind of confidence we haven't seen in years. He's been absolutely lights out, and with weapons like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and a solid running game with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, Goff is leading one of the most explosive offenses in the league. It's clear that Goff has found a groove with Dan Campbell and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. And while the talent around him is undeniable, let's not forget that it all starts with Goff. His ability to move in the pocket, process the defense, and make quick decisions is what's making this offense tick. So, Lions fans, what do you think? Will the Lions pull the trigger on David Long and beef up the linebacker core? What about Goff? Is he playing the best football of his career? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Jared Goff was nothing short of spectacular, earning an A for the game. He bounced back from that tough performance against the Texans and shredded the Jaguars' defense, completing 24 of 29 passes for 412 yards and 4 touchdowns. Goff threw touchdown passes to Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Brock Wright. He didn't just manage the game. He took control of it. Even Hendon Hooker got some action, leading the offense to a field goal drive on their first possession, finishing 3 of 4 for 37 yards. Running backs, another A. David Montgomery came out strong, dominating the first drive and scoring twice. Jahmyr Gibbs took over with a 69-yard rushing game, including a huge 54-yard reception that set up a touchdown. Those two kept the offense balanced and moving all game long. As for the wide receivers, A+ all the way. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 11 catches for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Jameson Williams managed a career-high 124 yards on just 4 receptions, including a 64-yard touchdown. Both players were unstoppable, and Tim Patrick's blocking was crucial, helping to open up lanes for the running backs. This receiving core is on fire right now. At tight end, Brock Wright and Shane Zylstra both excelled in Sam Laporta's absence. Wright even added a touchdown to his name, while Zylstra had a nice 22-yard gain early in the game. The tight ends did their part in both the passing game and run blocking, giving the offense some much-needed flexibility. The offensive line also gets an A. They were back at full strength with the return of Taylor Decker, and although he was beaten early by Trayvon Walker, they didn't allow a sack all game. Penei Sewell and Graham Glasgow were instrumental in some key run blocking, and the line gave Goff all the time he needed to assess the field and make plays. Defensively, the D-line was solid, earning another A. Zadarius Smith made his Lions debut, recording half a sack, and Levi Amuzurike contributed a tackle for loss. The defensive front was relentless, keeping pressure on Trevor Lawrence and limiting the Jaguars' running game. Travis Etienne was held to just 2.3 yards per carry, a great sign for the defense. The linebackers, however, have a bit of a bittersweet note. Alex Anzalone's injury was a tough blow. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken forearm, but Jack Campbell stepped up with 9 tackles, and Malcolm Rodriguez made a solid starting tackle after missing a few games. This group still performed well overall, but the loss of Anzalone will definitely be felt. The secondary also gets an A. Kirby Joseph intercepted his 7th pass of the season, while Brian Branch made a statement early with a big hit. The cornerbacks, including Carlton Davis, who played with a broken thumb, were aggressive and effective, making sure the Jaguars couldn't get through the air. Special teams? Yep, another A. Jake Bates was perfect on extra points and hit a 54-yard field goal. Khalif Raymond had a solid return game, and the Lions didn't allow any big returns to Devin DuVernay. It's hard to ask for more from a unit that rarely saw the field today. Coaching? Once again, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn prepared and focused their teams. After Jacksonville's first field goal, the Lions responded with 28 unanswered points. The defense and offense were in sync, and this was a total team win. It's clear the coaching staff is getting the most out of this roster, and they're positioning the team for a strong run the rest of the season. So, Lions fans, as we head into the final stretch of the season, the team is looking like one of the most complete in the NFL. But I want to hear from you. How do you feel about this dominant win? Can the Lions keep up this level of play? And what's your confidence level going into the game against the Colts? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe to stay up to date with all things Lions, and share this video with your fellow fans. See you next time. Go Lions!